Hey guys, welcome back to Gap Grace Point Online. Today we have a brand new lesson for you, and we're so excited that you're joining us today. Today we're going to be looking at the parable about parables, also known as the parable of the deep well. So join us today as we look at our godly play style lesson in this space. Today we look at the parable of the deep well. This is a rabbinical parable that actually tells us it's a parable about parables. It's not a parable that Jesus told, but it tells us about the nature of parables. It's a really beautiful story, so get ready, listen up, and let's have a look at what the story could mean for us today. There was once a great desert. The desert is a very big place. And in the middle of a desert was a deep well. This well was so deep that they couldn't reach the water at the bottom. It was so deep that you couldn't see the water at the bottom, but sometimes you could feel the refreshing coolness if you walked by. And you wondered how you could get to the water. The people couldn't get to the water. People cannot live in a desert without water. A desert is normally a place where people hurry through. They hurry through the dust and through the dirt because there's no water, no crops, nothing to eat. It was something that people hurried through. It was not somewhere where people wanted to stay. People wanted to get away from the danger of the desert. But one day, someone walked through the desert, not in a hurry. He took his time walking through the desert and noticed the small golden threads. He noticed the well and noticed this old rusty object that no one knew what it was. No one knew or remembered what it was for, this old rusty object. It was like a big cup that you could collect water in, that you could hold water in. But no one remembered what this old rusty object was for. And so the person looked at all of this and kicked some of the threads, kicked the old rusty buckets, but they took their time in the desert. The person went back to the old cup and realized that this could be used to draw water from the well, but not by itself. The person looked at the threads and realized if he collected some, he could tie them together to get water from the well. And so the person went and collected some of these gold threads and tied them together. And as he tied them together, collecting more and more, tying them together, he realized that he could now reach the water. He took the gold threads, tied it around the handle of the bucket, taking his time, not in a hurry. And he took this bucket and lowered it down into the well and got some of the water. He drew the water and tasted its refreshing quality. And this person left the bucket, left the gold strands tied together, and went on his way. He left it just as it was, so that people who came along could also taste the refreshing water at the bottom of the well. Now I wonder what the water from this well could really be. I wonder what this desert could really be. I wonder if you've ever crossed the desert. I wonder if you've ever come close to golden threads. I wonder if you've ever tied them together or kicked the threads and left them to be. I wonder if the person stopped and wondered. I wonder why they stopped and wondered. I wonder why they did what they did. Now, what about this ending? As the man drew water from the well, he tasted the refreshing water, just as we could taste, and then untied the gold strands. Left the rusty object and scattered the strands again. But he left it there for others to discover what they could do with these gold strands, the rusty object, and the deep well, in order to be able to reach the water and be refreshed, just as he was. I wonder which ending of the story you like best. Which one is the most important? Which one helps us the most today as we learn about parables? Which of these objects can we remove from the story and still have all the story we need? I wonder why this story is important for our journey towards the cross today. We hope you enjoyed the lesson today and that the story really means something to you and your journey towards the cross today. Have a look in the comments below for your activity and the links to our social media for this lesson. Look out on our social media, there's always great content, and we really hope that you feel connected and engaged with us in this time. We'll see you next week. Bye!